Hey guys, my name is Julianne Herman and I'm an RFX Circle Achiever with Rodan and Fields, and I do understand that doesn't mean much to many of you guys who are attending this event today and tonight, but hopefully throughout all of this unfolding and looking through everything that's offered to you guys throughout the day, you'll see that it's such a team effort. It's such a family, and that's what Rodan and Fields is to me. It's so much more than a financial piece. It is a group of like-minded people who encourage one another, who build up each other's weaknesses and strengths, and we all pull together, and we get to do it together. And I can't think of a better business ownership than that in my entire life. And trust me, coming from someone who has a background in business ownership of about 10 different businesses, this has been by far my favorite thing I've ever done. And the people that are involved are the reason for that. It's not something I came in thinking that I needed or having any idea that it was going to be a part of it. So back up a little bit. My husband and I have been business owners for since we got out of college. That's what we did. My background is in elementary education, and we had run businesses for about 9 years. We started about 6 from the ground up. We owned 2 franchises in the middle of all that. And so when one of our businesses was kind of taking a turn for funding might not be there. We need to figure out what's next. Let's be proactive in what's going to happen. I watched one of my friends doing Rodan and Fields and thought, who got her? Someone got her good. Like, why did she start that? And so in my head, I probably had the same thing as you guys do right now. You probably came to this event thinking, ooh, I'm going to get great skincare. Let me hear what these people are all talking about. It seems interesting. And never has it crossed your mind to do something for you, just to do something that maybe could make a difference for your family. Either it's just the bottom line, or maybe you're making a huge difference and you're creating retirement type income. But so as I watched Karen, we interviewed with different franchises, which we'd owned a franchise, and it was the least, it was probably the thing that I liked the least out of anything that we've ever done. So I thought, what am I doing? But I watched Karen and I thought, man, interesting, but not for me. I thought in my head that people were out handing samples out at the grocery store and laying people on the floor at the mall and massaging their faces. I had no idea what people were doing. That's what I had in my head. And so I heard this story once, and I think it's so parallel with my journey into Rodan and Fields, that there was a guy that was in a flood, and he was went to the top of his house on his roof, and he was looking up and he was like, God, what? You've got to save me. I'm going to die. You need to come save me. Something has to happen. And so a guy came by on a boat and he said, hey, man, jump in. You're going to die. Come on. You need to jump in. He said, no, God's going to save me. I'm good. Sent a helicopter. The guy said, hey, come on, you're going to die. You need to get in the helicopter. And he said, nope, God's going to save me. I'm good. Another boat came by and he said, nope, God's going to save me. I'm good. Well, guess what? The guy didn't make it. And we got to heaven and he said, God, why didn't you save me? And he said, well, buddy, I sent you a boat, and then I sent you a helicopter. Then I sent you another boat, and that I was saving you. And so I just thought it was a funny story, thinking how many of us just are so narrow-minded in business ownership, or what we have, these preconceived ideas that we have about Rodan and Fields and what these people are doing, that we're not willing to save ourselves. I heard someone say one time, there's so many people, we have an answer for them, and they're just not willing to save themselves from whatever it is. It's not financial for everybody, and I think that's what most people think. They think, well, everybody does this for a financial reason, and that's not true. There's lots of reasons. Some people really join for recognition. We need someone to tell us that we're doing a good job. And it's true. And we need a company that's going to recognize us when we're working hard. We need camaraderie with a group of people that are like-minded, that are hardworking, that love each other, that encourage each other. Of course, there's a group that it's financial, and that's why they join this. And then the beautiful thing is those other pieces come in that build you up so much that you do this financial piece so much better, because you didn't know that you were missing the encouragement and the camaraderie, because we just get in this rut with our job or with our kids or with our boyfriends or whatever's happening. And then we don't think hey, what happens if something does happen? What's my plan B? Do we have all our eggs in one basket? what if, God forbid, something happens to me or my husband? Like, have we really thought about that residual income piece that's going to allow life to go on as normal as possible? And so, I think we all just get into this mindset of like, that's not for me because of these reasons, when in reality, we don't even know. And so, like I said, my background's in elementary education. My husband and I own some businesses. And I was a lot of you guys, I bet. I'm sure, you would raise your hand if you really could, or probably not because you don't want to admit it. But I made fun of my sweet friend Karen all the time. I was like, oh, sweet girl, if she does well, she's going to make X amount. I had no idea. It was just what was in my head and what I had been told, but it wasn't true. And I was like, oh goodness, you guys, the day I joined this business, I saw her at church in the morning and she had just gotten home from convention. And I was like, oh, someone gave y'all some crazy Kool-Aid. Y'all have drank it. I joined the business that night. So really what was happening is I didn't know what was going on. I knew I was missing out and I didn't like it. So mature defense mechanism was to say, you're crazy. And so she came to my house that night and said, hey, we try this product. And I was like, why have you not asked me to do the business? And she said, well, I don't know. You guys seem set. You own these businesses. You've done well, whatever. And I said, well, yeah, but that we're looking for something. You never know what's going on. So for that reason, I really came into this business going, I don't know what's going on in other people's lives. I have something that I can offer. And of course they can tell me no, and I will love them just the same, but I don't ever want them to come back and say, Julianne, why didn't you tell me? And you guys, there is not a better time to join Rodan and Fields. And as cheesy as that is, I am not a cheesy person. That's why I just said that. It's true. Rodan and Fields is in North America right now and going global within the next several months. And then just going to keep going and going. And you guys, there's so much out there. If you want it, it is there. We have a team that will teach you how to do everything. We all came in with those fears of, I'm not a salesperson. I don't have any time. And what I always love to tell people, and I'm so serious, is tell me when the last time is that you felt like you had life just whooped. You know what I mean? Like my kids' laundry's put up, my office is clean, my floors are clean. Never. Like that's just never going to happen. So if it's worth it to you, you'll find time for it, and we'll help you figure out how to do that. Now, by no means do I want anybody to get off of this and say, oh, she told me I'm gonna make $1 million tomorrow. It's a job. It's a job just like everything else. There are days that it's amazing, and there's a few days where I'm like, oh, okay, it's a job. But you know what? I love it. It is my favorite thing I've ever done. About a year into our business, we were able to sell all of our other businesses, retire my husband, and Rodan and Fields then became our sole source of income, which was beyond any of my wildest dreams of what was going to happen when I joined in February of 2013. I think 14, yeah. See? Who knows? If I can do it, you guys can do it. I can't even remember dates. But so about a year in, we were able to make this our sole source of income. About 6 months into the business, we earned our company Lexus, which is just a free car that we get, which, woohoo, who wants a free car? Anybody, right? And then through that, after promoting within the business and really helping other leaders promote themselves, my husband and I have been to Napa and we've been to San Francisco multiple times. We went to Hawaii, we went to Koh Samui, Thailand. We're going to Australia here in about a month. We're going to London next year. And I tell you those things because that's not why I joined the business. But I think it's really incredible that we work for a company that really does reward those who are working. They're incredible perks. My husband and I would never, ever go to the Hayman Islands in Australia right now. We have 4 little girls. Our oldest is 8 years old. Our youngest is 1. We're busy. We're crazy. And it's such a blessing. I literally just walked in the door from vacation. So I keep looking at myself like, whoo-hoo. Well, whatever. That's why I do this business. I do it for those 4 girls and for my husband to be able to go on vacations and just enjoy life together, to not be held down at a brick and mortar or by a boss or by anything else. I work this in and around my kids, and I always tell people lots of times you'll hear my kids yelling in the background because they're little and I have 4 kids and they're my priority and they always will be. So I want to leave you guys with this. If it has sparked any sort of interest in you of what are these girls up to? What is this community up to? What are those guys see in this business? There are girls, there are guys, there are old, young, single, married, all over the place. If you think you don't fit a mold, you're wrong, because there is not anybody I truly believe that Rodan and Fields is not for. It's a choice to run a business, but there's nobody who can't do it. And so if it's sparked any sort of interest, I encourage you guys, please get with the person who invited you. Have a simple conversation. I promise you, none of us want to talk anybody into doing it. There's nothing worse that I could do for a friend or for someone who I just met than to convince them to do a business, because it is a business. And at the end of the day, you have to want to run it yourself. And if you don't, then it's not going to happen. So if it sparked an interest, there's never been a better time. We just had a summer promotion that sold out in like a day, and they planned on having it until the whole summer. It's growing fast. It's a fast moving ship, but you have not missed the boat. I promise you. Don't lay there for the next 6 weeks and go, man, what if? You know what? The good thing is it's a risk-free opportunity, which, coming from someone who spent several $100,000 opening businesses and storefronts and franchises, that's crazy. The investment is minimal. You get a 60-day money-back guarantee, you guys. I can't think of anything else in this world as amazing and wonderful as that. So you get 60 days to decide if this business is for you. And if it is, great. It's life-changing. If it's not, you've lost nothing. But you know, maybe it's not for you. And so I encourage you guys, give it a true thought. Go back to the person that invited you, and let's see what this can be. Let's work together. Let us hand off our expertise to you guys, our failures, our strengths, our weaknesses, all those things. So you get to walk through this business with more ease than we did, because we've done some of the hard work for you. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. What I want you to do is, I'm not everybody on this team, clearly. There are other incredible leaders who I love dearly. And if you look in the comments below, they're going to post some of their stories. And if you're intrigued, go through and listen to them. I might not be your flavor, and that's okay. That's okay. That's why we're a team and we work together. Look at some other people's stories. See what they say. See what they have to offer. See if something resonates with you that maybe I didn't say. And anyway, I'd love for you to meet some of my good friends and business partners as well. So if you have a minute and you're intrigued, please go through and listen. Again, there is absolutely no pressure. If at the end of the day it's not for you, it's totally fine. And if it is, we'd love to welcome you to this amazing community and team that we have. We're pretty fun, and you would have a great time. And really, if you want to change your life, you can. If you want a shameless shoe fun, we can do that too. But anyway, thank you guys for taking time tonight. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk soon.